Yes. Arnie, this is a tough speech to give. The title of Arnie's, the subject area for Arnie's speech today was the touching story. Did anybody feel that Arnie touched them during this story?
Yes.
Okay, we'll have a lawyer coming in later on. Arnie, you didn't touch me. Okay, they said they got touched, but I think that that's just like a gut reaction. Okay? So let's talk about your story. You did a good job of telling a story, so I want to give you congratulations on that. Okay? It didn't grip me as being a touching story. For it to be what does it take for a story to be a touching story?
Relatable.
Do you have to feel like you're in the story?
Yes.
Okay. And does something have to happen? That seems like really sad, right? I mean, I would think those would be the two parts of a touching story, right? You would have to feel as though it's a story that's happening to you, and something really bad would have to be going on, and you'd be like, oh, the puppy got hit? Really? Oh, I was the puppy. That's it. But that didn't happen for me. Man, you're standing in the cold, and you're like ringing a bell. You know, all right, so I'm hearing your story, but I'm not you. Okay, and there's a little subtlety to what's going on there. So let's take a look at what you're trying to do. What emotions did you experience as the speaker told the story?
Cold.
Yeah, there's a cold, a little bit of despair, right? So, Arnie, you said your life sucked, okay, which is fine, okay, but you got to give us more details. You said things weren't going well with the wife. Why? Why weren't things going well with the wife? You said you had teens, you were trying to raise them, but you didn't, all right, that's generic, right? Tell me why raising teens at that point in time was such a big deal. My daughter wasn't talking to me because I had just met her boyfriend and said, no, you can't go to prom with him because he's not even out of jail yet. Well, whatever the story is, but you have to build the backstory a little bit more so we can become you at that moment and understand your despair. I think you know your despair very well, but you had to bring us into your despair more for us to be there. How does the speaker use a dialogue to invoke emotion? You painted a picture of sad times. I want to congratulate you. You had great vocal variety, Arnie. Okay? And you also did an excellent job of the bell. The bell was a key component of your story. You were ringing it, you were telling, with the hand gesture, you were also telling us what it sounded like. I mean, I really sort of got into that part. I could see you standing in front of the big kettle and stuff like that. Your opening, though, was a little bit splintered, right? You were here, you were there, you're telling them, how are you doing? Hey, it's drying up outside. Now, this is all great stuff, but it has nothing to do with your story, okay? Hey, you're warm, you're comfortable, your life is going pretty well. It was only 2 years ago that I was cold, I was tired, and I was standing in the rain. Let me tell you the story about how I got to be there. Something, whatever it is, but bring us right in, poof, from the beginning, okay? Did the story contain the basic elements? And they're talking about character, plot, conflict, and action. Characters, I saw where you were going. You were the only character that we met. We bumped into some other people, but we don't know anything about them. We knew their roles, scoutmaster, et cetera, but we didn't really know much about them. He walked with a peg leg or something like that, or he spoke with a lisp, or I hated him because, so conflict was probably something that was completely missing. Outside your conflict with yourself, personal demons don't count. Were the characters developed? You were the best developed one, the other people weren't. You touched on them a little bit, but we didn't really find out anything about them. And then the ending. I saw what your ending was. I mean, I think we all saw what your ending was, but there was a problem with the ending. How much money did they give you? Did you win the contest? You told us about the Rotary Kiwanis contest that was going on. They put a big wad. He put over $10,000 into my kettle. I have no idea. They put like $20. Whatever. It's all good. Maybe he had no money, but he gave you a big stack of all the money he had. Whatever the story is, we don't know how it turned out. So the story was without an ending. So Arnie, good job telling us the story. Not a problem with that whatsoever. Not that touching, in my opinion, but I know you got the ability to do it. Mr. General Evaluator.
I would like to call upon Jason